Fast, exciting, dangerous, and very, very loud. This was Formula 5000 racing. The history of Formula 5000 can be traced back to North America in 1965, when the Sports Car Club of America, inspired by the Can-Am series, which allowed a wider range of vehicles to compete, introduced 3 new single-seater Formula. Formula C was for 1.1 litre engines, matching the established Formula Junior. Formula B ran 1.6 litre production-based or stock block engines, and Formula A, which would run 3 litre racing engines, matching the upcoming 1966 Formula 1 season cars. Unfortunately, with the 3 litre Formula 1 yet to start, the Formula A class attracted little attention, with the first 1965 National Championship not even being competed in, and lacklustre numbers of cars in 66 and 67 events, with the Formula B cars dominating the races. So in 1968, the SCCA opened up Formula A to allow stock block engines of up to 5 litres, thus accommodating the Chevrolet 302 cubic inch V8 engine that was now being used in the Trans Am series. And so Formula 5000 was born. This attracted major racing car constructors to start building the 5 litre cars, including McLaren, Eagle, Match, Chevron, Lotus and Lola. The series, titled the Continental Championship, quickly grew to 13 events in 1969. L&M Cigarettes would begin to sponsor the event in 1971, and it would become the SCCA L&M Continental Formula 5000 Championship for the next 2 years, until the cigarette company withdrew sponsorship in 73. From 1972, the engines had been limited to strictly 5 litre cars, and the bodywork was now more modern. 1974 would see an agreement reached between the SCCA and USAC, the United States Auto Club, to jointly sanction the series, now named the SCCA USAC Formula 5000 Championship, and it was now opened up to the USAC Championship Division cars. These USAC cars could run supercharged overhead cam engines up to 2650cc, non-supercharged engines up to 4200cc, and stock block non-supercharged non-overhead cam up to 5200cc. The series only lasted 1 season, with the USAC announcing their withdrawal at the end of the year. Ultimately, the SCCA would replace the F5000 series with a revived Can-Am series. Regulations still allowed the existing F5000 cars with fully enveloping bodywork to compete, although the halcyon days of the short-lived formula were coming to an end. Although it enjoyed much popularity in America during the 70s, featuring great drivers such as Mario Andretti and Al and Bobby Unser, increasing costs and other factors saw Formula 5000 quickly lose its appeal after 1975. By the early 80s, the cars were not competitive against the newer cars being raced. Meanwhile, across the ocean, Formula 5000 was introduced to the national champs in South Africa, where it would run concurrently with Formula 1 in 1968, and to New Zealand in 1969. 1969 also saw the launch of a British F5000 series, the Guards Formula 5000 Championship, with races being run at tracks like Silverstone, Brands Hatch, Zandvoort and Monza. This later would become the European F5000 Championships, sponsored by Rothmans from 1971, and then Shell Sport from 1975. In 1970, the class was introduced in the Tasman series in Australia and New Zealand, intended as a more affordable alternative to the F1 cars that had dominated the series during the 1960s, whose teams, focusing on the now more popular F1 series, were becoming reluctant to invest in the lesser championship. This would lead to the series being dominated by local drivers and would become a competitive cross-Tasman championship during the 70s. It would also become a main component of the Australian Formula 1 and Australian open-wheeled category from 1971 to 1981, before being replaced with Formula Pacific. Along with European cars such as the Lolas, McLaren and Chevrons, locally made cars were also produced. These included Australian-built Matisse and Elfin cars, and Kiwi racing driver Graham McRae was also involved in producing cars. Although the formula remained popular, particularly in Australia into the early 80s, its end would see many cars being consigned to old garages and barns. The late 2000s, however, would see some of these cars begin to be rediscovered, kicking off quite the revival of the formula amongst amateur historic racers in New Zealand, where it's still popular. Not Formula 1 cars, not Indy cars. During its brief rise and fall, Formula 5000 provided some exhilarating motorsport. The cars were fast and fun to drive, producing faster times than the F1 cars in some places. The racing was intense, competitive and dangerous, with crashes being frequent and violent, especially in the earlier open-wheeled cars from the late 60s, as can be seen in the last 20 minutes of James Garner's film The Racing Scene. The big thunderous V8 engines would also leave an indelible mark on one's eardrums. And so that is my brief rundown of the short history of Formula 5000. I guess you could say it was a more affordable version of Formula 1, and I'm sure just as exciting. So let's visit a few tracks, and I've got the F5000 mods for Asetto Corsa, and we'll do a handful of races, maybe get some idea of what it might have been like to race these cars. And we're going to begin in my home country of New Zealand, situated in the Waikato district of the North Island. We're at the Hampton Downs Motorsport Park. This track was opened in 2009, and it says on their website that the track has a very smooth surface and a mix of blind bends and crests, which make it a challenging circuit for drivers, which I'll agree with. It's probably the hardest track I'm going to be driving. I've set up a 5-lap race. There's 10 cars in it. I'm in 5th place. And I'm driving the McLaren, the little Kiwi on the steering wheel there. So it goes straight into probably the trickiest corner on the track. And there's a short straight. Now braking hard and down, right down into first gear. It gets quite windy through here. I'm going to stay in second. Right, now this corner is quite long. I'm going to try and accelerate smoothly as much as I can, but then you don't want to come out wide at the end there. Back down into second. I'll try and come in on the inside of this guy. Might be able to get past. Staying wide round here so I don't sandwich that guy on the inside there. I've managed to just squeeze past him. Oh, locking up a bit. Quite tricky coming out of that corner there. It's really easy to light it up. lose traction on the end. Oh, braking a bit late. Nearly rear-ended Father Christmas in front. So you can really open it up in this last section. And we come up over this crest and over the line. Then this is the corner I find the hardest, coming in there fast. The camber's not very nice. It's easy to shoot off into the sand if you're not careful. So the chili pepper there managing to stay in front of me around that corner. It's really one of those tracks I find it's maybe trickier than it looks. It's doing quite a lot of concentrating. Oh, locking up there, but I still clipped this rear wheel. Managing to gain a bit of ground on him now. Might be able to slip past. I don't think I'm going to be as committed as him. Yeah, the AI tend to be a bit braver through there than me. Still right on his tail though. If I can stay ahead of him around here. Yes, he slipped in behind me. So up into second place. Movers in first, quite a way ahead though. I think I'd have to be driving pretty well to catch up with them. Hopefully I can keep second place though. So I'm getting a bit of safe distance between me and the third place. Oh no, pushing it way too hard around that corner and it's totally going off the road. Don't need to be doing any more of that. But that's sort of the thing I find with this track. It is hard to judge right where the limit is. Over the line again to the fourth lap. See where the AI makes a little bit of time on me around that corner. I think I'm faster than them maybe around the tight bends generally. You can see the cars have plenty of power. We have to be careful with the throttle. Oh, going a little bit sideways there. And there we go, over the line again into our final lap. You can see first place up there. Maybe if I had a couple more laps I could catch up to him. Look out, somebody's crashed. Yeah, I can see pole position up in front there, but there's no way I'm going to be able to catch up with him. Only a third of a lap or so left. I definitely feel like it could have been done in a longer race. Well, not if I go off the track like that too many times though. Oh, and I'm coming into this corner too fast, going out wide. But I can't see anyone behind me, so it's going to be an easy second. Cane it out one last time. And we're over the line. And, well, see, I didn't brake properly and flew off into the sand there. So, second place. It's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Still 3.5 seconds behind the first place, so definitely room for improvement. But for now, we're going to be moving on to our second track. And we're going to be travelling all the way over to Germany. And this is Hockenheim. It's the 1960s mod. The Hockenheim ring has a rich history, beginning with motorcycles racing in 1932, hosting countless Grand Prix events and being most notorious for the fatal crash of Jim Clark in a Formula 2 car in 1968. And so I've got a larger grid than last time, 17 cars. I'll be starting in 10th place. A little bit of a cloud in the sky. So let's see how we go. And we're off. We're managing to steal a couple of positions straight away there. Braking into the first corner. Managing to slip past another car, and now the pack's starting to spread out a bit. Got the legs to take another place there. Racing through the trees gives you a really good sense of speed. Notice there's no crash barriers. Some people just hanging out on the side of the track there. So plenty of time with the car open right up on the circuit. You want to give yourself some nice long gears. So there's a car sneaking up behind me there. I don't think he's going to make it past me. No. Buttoning off. And down into third around here. Now we're into the windy section. Back around into the home straight and over the line for a first lap. So getting a bit of a slipstream. Magenta up beside him. Got the better line than him around that corner. Oh, he's still managed to stay up beside me. Oh, and I've clipped the back of him. And could I take him down this straight over the line into the third lap? I've managed to overtake him around that corner. I've just got to stay ahead of him. Pedal to the metal in the old McLaren, but there comes Kermit. Oh, and he's flying past me. Back into fourth. So weaving through those curves there. It's actually quite a fun track to drive, this one. There's nothing particularly challenging in it. You can really get down to some racing without having to worry about crashing as much, maybe. looks like he's still pulling away just a little bit. I should have made my gears just a little bit longer. Ooh, right on the edge of too wide around there. So I managed to make up a little bit of time again on him through there, but I guess he'll probably take off down the straight again. So on the last lap, can't see the positions changing from here unless somebody has some major incident in front of me, but I can't see that happening. And you can see Kermit's pulling away from me still down these long, fast sections. It's a little bit higher geared. It's got a bit more top end on me. Look out, there's a cloud of smoke. Oh, it's Father Christmas. He's lost it. He's out on the corner. I'm into third position. Well, there you go. I really didn't expect that. Into the bends for the last time. Definitely too much of a gap between me and third place to make that up. Oh, getting a little bit wiggly there. We're over the line for third place. Quite pleased with that. Right, yeah, so third place there at the Hockenheim ring, racing through the forest in Germany. Although again, I'm only third in this one because of the other car coming off the circuit in the last lap. Right, so now we're going to move on to our final race, and this time we'll be travelling to Riverside County in California. And back in time a little bit, because we're racing at Riverside International Raceway, once considered one of America's finest tracks. It was open from 1957 till 1989, when it was closed due to complaints from locals, environmental reasons, and the rising price of land in the area. So it's noted for its hot, dusty environment and for being a complicated and dangerous track for drivers. It's got plenty of corners you have to be careful around. Not a whole lot of elevation, but what elevation it does have gives you a few blind crests here and there. Definitely a track I had to spend a little bit of time learning before I did any decent racing on it. So again, in this race we've got 17 cars, and I'm starting in 10th place on the grid. I've set the conditions in Asetto Corsa to dusty. I thought that suited the track. So there goes the lights all lit up, and we're off. You can see a few cars get a bit snaky at the start there. Managed to snatch a couple of positions. It's easy to light up the rear end when you take off there. And just crash straight into the barrier if you're not careful. Right through that first set of shallow curves. Down into second for this first tight bend. Now you head down this hill here and then back up into quite a blind crest over the hill there and into this corner. And you have to be really gentle there on your throttle. You can open her up down this short straight here and into another fairly blind corner. You can't really see the track in front of you. Again, very careful accelerating out of there. Now you can really open it up down this straight. Pretty much keep it nailed around that corner. And then into this big round oval corner with heaps of camber there. So be careful when you come out of this corner and back onto the straight. It's easy to go to the wall there. It doesn't take you a very good line. I thought we might be able to get past Father Christmas. Oh, I got past him there. Take it through here and forth as fast as I can. Tend to end up clipping the inside of the corners. Kick up a bit of dust here and there. Back down into second. Make sure you brake early enough to get over that crest. If you go too fast, you just go straight off into the sand without really steering at all. So another track where I probably should have given myself a little bit longer gears. Not really catching up along the straights to the cars in front. And over the line again for the third lap. Still back in 5th place. So I made up a few places, but I've got a bit of work to do if I wanted to get any sort of podium position. Oh, going a bit hard on the old gear changes there. But I think I'm managing to make up a little bit of time on 4th place. So I'm using my Logitech G-force wheel and a H shifter to play. So not much has changed as we come around for another lap. Still in 5th. I'm not really falling back either. So maybe I can make up a bit of ground on this lap. Oh, look out, going a little bit sideways there. You can hear the odd lock up here and there and the odd sloppy gear change. You can see I'm going to have to do a bit of work here to get around this track at a decent speed. So the sun's getting a little bit lower in the sky there as we head into our final lap. So managing to pull right up behind 4th place there. I might be able to make an attempt at passing him. Oh no, he's back up the inside. And I think he's come out of that corner better than me, barring someone slamming into the wall at the end of the oval. I think it looks like it's going to be a 5th place finish. We'll see how it goes though. Said that last time and then one of the cars in front crashed, so sun getting quite low there as we all head over the line. So there you go, a 5th place finish, 4.6 seconds off of the pole position this time. And so that is a brief look at the Formula 5000, the short-lived noisy V8 formula from the late 70s, early 80s. Hopefully you got a little bit of an idea of what it was all about and maybe an idea of what it might have been like to race the cars. Thanks heaps for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for similar content. And check out my other channel where I do stuff with die-cast cars.